Today we're going to take a look at some advanced drawing techniques, chapter 6. Okay, we're going to say we're going to look at advanced drawings or any viewer part that is drawn using special rules. Okay, for example, we can have here a removed and revolve view. Okay, for example, we have this drawing here. Okay, we don't really have room for the side view, and maybe we'd like to make it a little bit bigger. Notice this scale of this drawing is 1/2, and we want a little bit bigger. So what we can do is we can just take a section view and not section it. Okay, so we do not have to go through the part. We can create a section view out here. Then when we create it, we can move it and rotate it any way that we want. As long as we show this and label it, it's okay to do this. Now we don't do this very often, but we can. Okay, here's another example. This is showing you that it's been revolved 90 degrees. Okay, this is the revolve view. Okay, we also have detail views. Now, a detail view we looked at in the last chapter, but here's just another look at it. So if we have a piece here, we can take and we can create a detail. Okay, so let's take a look at that, and we'll look at our detailed drawing. So here's our detailed drawing. Okay, and I just drew what was in the book. And again, we just go to detail, we pick the view that we want, and we can put the scale. So this is 1/4. You'll see that the scale of this is 1/8. Okay, I don't know if I can fit to 1/2, but let's try it. So I'm going to go to 1/2 here, and then it wants to know I can either put a circle, which is common, or I can do a rectangular. I can do it with jagged edges or nice smooth edges. So normally we take a circular view. So I want this view right here. So I'm going to put where I want the center of the circle and just drag it out and click. When I do that, then I can take and just grab my detail view and stick it right here. Okay, again, I probably made this too big. I could take and remove this or move this label, and here it shows me that I'm looking at this view right here, and this is what the view is. Okay, all right, whoops. Partial views, sometimes we can draw a view here. Okay, this completing this view will not really enhance our drawing at all. Okay, we're only worried about the view right here looking in at this particular shape. So we could put a partial view here. Okay, auxiliary views. Auxiliary view is used to create a projection plane that is different than our normal 6 principal planes. For example here, if we look at the 3 views of this particular object, if we look at the top view, okay, these circles are going to be shown as ellipses and are not going to be the true shape. These are going to be shown as ellipses, and these are not the true shape. So we'll create a new plane, and the plane will be on the angle that we want to show flat here. Okay, so here's our primary views. Here is our auxiliary views. We can take if we want and show a partial auxiliary view. Okay, so let's take a look at what that would look like. So we're going to go here, and here is the part that we're going to look at. Of course, I'm going to open up our title block. I made a B size here. Okay, no sense in going over that again and again. I'm going to pick the base view and whichever view I want as the front. Okay, put that guy there. I'll put a side view over here, and I'll put a top view here, and maybe, Okay, if I can fit it an isometric over there. Okay, now again, I want to make an auxiliary view here. Okay, that's going to be on this angle. Inventor has a really great feature to do that, which really simplifies our work. Okay, we could take, for example, and I can make a section of this view. Okay, let me go to section, this view, and I can create a section from there to there and drag it that way. Okay, and there I would have a partial view, and then I would hide that. Okay, but what else I can do is I can go over here to auxiliary. Ask me what view I want. Okay, ask me to put an identifier. I can put A, whoops, auxiliary, this view here. Okay, and then I need to tell it where I want to put it, and I can grab it, and now this circle and this face here is shown in its true position or true angle, so that these are, instead of shown as ellipses as they are here, it'll show it as a circle, and then we can dimension it. Okay, we can put related parts here. For example, this is a related part. We're looking at this particular object here, but this is the way that it gets attached or placed on something, and we can put that as phantom lines. Okay, identify the following as principal, auxiliary, partial, and detail. Okay, whether the principal views, and there's the top, front, right side. Here's the auxiliary view here. These are partial views here, and this is a detail up here. Okay, I want to do that really fast, but that's okay. All right, to draw an auxiliary view, again, we project it on the angle that we're going to use. Again, Inventor automatically does that once we pick we want this view and this edge right here. Okay, and there's the part that I drew. Okay, so again, here are our three main views. I go to auxiliary view. There is my auxiliary view. Okay, again, detail views. Again, if we're drawing it in Inventor, we pick detail, we pick the shape where we want it, and we place it there. Casting and mold parts. Casting a part is produced by solidifying a material in a mold. A part is produced by this process. The part produced by this process is called the casting. Okay, and we're not going to go over this, but you can create a mold automatically in Inventor, but that's beyond the scope of what we can do. Okay, the mold is a form made of sand, metal, or other material. The melted material is poured or injected into the mold. Okay, so here, for example, this is pouring it in here, and it would take that shape, and then we would left with this particular shape. The parting line is where the mating surfaces of the mold is, right here. Okay, sometimes that will leave a line on our part. Okay, the draft is a taper given so the part can be extracted from the mold. Here's the parting line, here is the draft angle. We can do that again automatically as well. Okay, here we have fillets with a corner radius, okay, right here, and a fillet right there. Okay, many times the surfaces are machined, so these are machined here. These are machine surface. Okay, we can automatically use Inventor to produce surfaces. We have different symbols for our surfaces. This is, the surface may be produced by any method. This requires material to be removed, and this says you cannot remove any material. Okay, we have different specifications like the maximum waviness height, maximum waviness spacing, the roughness values, the machining allowance, roughness sampling length, and the lay symbol. And that again is way beyond what we can go over in this class. Here are some examples. Here are surface texture symbols. Okay, this is a parting line. These are drafts. Okay, here's a detail over here. Okay, let's take a look at some of our, or how we can create finish symbols. So here I just have a part. This was the part that we have over here. And let's say that I want to put a finish symbol, so I just inserted it in this drawing. Okay, so I want to put a surface maybe up here. Okay, I go to annotate, and there you'll see my surface. Okay, you'll see it comes up like this, and let's say I want the surface here. Okay, now it will try to put a arrow there. If I don't want an arrow, I right click and pick continue, and it'll just put it on that surface. Okay, here I just put in some numbers until it's got to be perpendicular to this surface right here. Again, these numbers are beyond what we can do, but again, you can see that Inventor has a very easy way for us to create that symbol and to put those values in here. Okay, again, here is the requirements for it. Okay, here's the roughness average, the roughness minimum, cutoff, okay, sampling lengths, roughness max. So you see that I have all those put in there, and I pick OK, and there is my surface. And if I need to edit it, I double click on it and I can change any numbers. I could change my symbol here. Okay, so here it tells it I cannot remove any material. Here it says I'm going to remove the material. Okay, all right. Welding. Welding joins material by heating the surfaces above the melting temperature. We use welding symbols on detailed drawings to indicate the type, location, and size of the weld. We have a fillet weld, okay, for on the corner here. Okay, this is a fillet weld that is not the same on both sides. Okay, this tells us the top, this tells us the bottom. Okay, here's a fillet weld. Again, how big it is. This is 6 millimeters. Here is a groove weld, a square groove weld, and the bevel groove weld. Okay, so let's take a look at creating some welds. So what I've done was I've taken and I made a part here. It's got a little chamfer on it. It's going to be my front and top, and I made a little piece that's going to get welded on top of there. Okay, so what I can do here is I can make a new drawing. So I'm going to go to new, or a new, it's actually a new drawing, and it's an assembly. I'm going to call it a weldment, okay, which is actually what I had here, but that's okay. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to assemble it. So I'm going to take and put the parts all on here. Putting the pieces in here, so I'm going to pick the top side, or the top and the side because they're the same, and I pick OK. I'm going to put this on my isometric view. Okay, and I want to put this guy, okay, maybe right there. Okay, now I want another piece. Now I'm going to rotate this in the X, along the X-axis. Okay, and now on the Z-axis. okay, so that these will line up with each other. Okay, I'm also going to take and put this part here. I'm just going to slap that guy right there and pick OK. Now I need to connect these two together, okay? And to do that, I'm going to use the join command. We're going to look at the join command much later. We're just going to do it real quick right now. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to join these together, and I want to take the midpoint on this face and align it with the midpoint on this face. Okay, again, so I'm going to rotate around so I can see this guy on this side, and I'm going to go to join. And now you'll see no matter where I put this, it'll put it there, or put it on an angle, or flat against there. And I want it flat, okay, right on this surface right here. Okay, now I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to align that with the surface that's flat right here. Oops, right there. Okay, and it lined those up. Now you'll see that it connected those together. Now you see there's still two separate pieces, and there's a V there. Okay, that's where we're going to put our weld. Okay, we're also going to take this guy, and I'm going to join him from the center on the bottom right to the center of this piece, and right there, and then pick OK. I'm going to go back to my isometric view. Okay, now what I'm going to do is weld. So I go up here and I pick weld. Okay, and I'm going to pick welds, and it wants to know what kind I want. Okay, well, this one on this side is going to be a groove, so I pick groove. Okay, I want it along the full face of both of these. Okay, this one and this one, and then it wants to know what face I want. Now I want this angled face right here, and then I have to pick the second one, and I want this angled face right here. Okay, and I pick OK. And now you'll see it put a weld right there. Okay, now I'm going to take and I'm going to do another weld, and this time I'm going to do a fillet. Okay, and I think I want that fillet to be, well, let's see what it looks like. So I'm going to pick this face and this face. Now that fillet might be a little too big, so maybe it changes to a 1/16 of an inch. Okay, and you'll see that looks a little nicer there. And if I pick OK, it put a nice little weld right along there. Now I'm going to go to that weld. Here's welds, the beads. That was the fillet weld. I'm going to right click and go to edit feature. Okay, and I can change this. Okay, if I don't want a flat face like that, I could put a radius there. Okay, and let's make that 0.032 and make this offset about 0.15. Okay, and looks like I should do it exactly the opposite. Make this 0.16, make this 0.032. Okay, and we'll just keep trying until we get this right. 0.62. Okay, which looks good there. I'll make that 0.62 and that 0.32 and pick OK. Now I've got the bead on a radius like this. If I wanted to, I can go here and edit this feature again, and I could make it, instead of having it a convex, I can make it a concave. Okay, now I got to change my numbers again. Let's see, I make this 0.16 now, pick OK. Now you'll see that my weld, okay, has the radius going this way, and that might be the way I want to do it. Okay, I can then take again and put another fillet weld. Okay, and again, depending on how big I want it, pick maybe, oops, pick this face and that face. Again, I can change its contour if I want. If I wanted that to be a concave, change this one, 16, there's my radius, and pick OK. So now I have 3 welds here. You can see it shows me a picture of the welds. Here's this weld. Okay, and then my groove weld here. Okay, I'll go to my isometric view and I'm going to save this. I'm going to save it and I'm going to call it weld. So I have a 1, I'm going to call it weld 2. Okay, so just like any other assembly that I would do, and I'm going to go to my weld drawing, which I already opened up, and I'm going to place it there. Okay, now what I got to do that I forgot to do, I'm going to cancel this, I'm going to go back to my weld. Okay. It was there somewhere, and I need to click return here to get out of this before I can put it in my drawing. Okay, so now I'm going to go to this drawing here that I've already placed there. I'm going to put the base. There is my view right there. Okay, and see if I can fit a 2-to-1 there so I can see it a little bit better. And I pick OK. Alright, and you can see our welds. Okay, now what I would do under annotate, okay, I would click on welding. There's my welding symbol. I click there. Okay, and I can hit OK. Now what I want to do, and there's the dimensions that I put there, the 062 and the 16. Pick OK. Pick this guy here. Click. Oops, enter. 62, 16. Looks like I made them all the same. Continue. 62, 16. Okay, so there are my welding symbols. Okay, again, the nice thing about Inventor is it does all this automatically for us. Okay, great feature. This is it for our advanced drawing techniques. Okay, again in Canvas there will be an assignment that we'll be due, and it's all there. All right.